Imagine. Doesn't the team hire all that? Yeah, but then you gotta pay some of your money into escrow. You haven't heard about escrow? Hockey players look like line cooks? I'm just begging you to stop talking about the bear for like 8 minutes. Just 8 minutes of not hearing about Hulu's new series about beef on weck. Sorry, that's a buffalo sandwich. I'd like to apologize. I don't know what the Chicago sandwich is called. It's called like a grilled beef with onions or something. Italian beef, that's it, thank you. Al Capone's dental floss. Let me up, let me up. Good one, thank you, thank you. I'm actually kind of sick at bouncing. Good stream. I bounced on my boy's lily pad to this. Take a little two-tapper, get up there. Okay, you never take the middle on this one. That's a fool's gambit. Unless you know something I don't know. No diving required. I'm stunned. I'm stunned we almost didn't qualify. I thought we were doing pretty well. This is a nasty lobby, dude. This is like a Twitch Rivals lobby. I'm telling you, dude. This is the only game on Earth where when it went free to play, it actually, like, the lobbies got insanely hard. Maybe I'll watch The Bear. I don't know. What's it on in Canada? Have we ever figured that out? It's on Peacock. All right, next. So I've never seen Letterkenny or Shoresy. I accept that they are probably great. Everybody seems to talk about them. Everybody seems to love them. But they're like, I don't know. It's just something, I have like an innate bias against the show that's like that Canadian as a Canadian myself. I know it sounds like a weird thing to say. But I almost feel like it's a little too, like, on the nose. Like, I feel like I know people like that. That's why I like it. I don't know. As far as, like, Canadian media goes, I like Fubar. Like, I feel like Fubar speaks to my upbringing in Canada. I know a lot of guys like Terry and Dean growing up. They were, like, my friends' dads. You go over to, like, your friend's house, it's 3 p.m. on a Wednesday, and his dad or his granddad is, like, shotgunning a beer on the porch, and you're like, okay. Who's gonna drive me home later? Oh, him? All right. In the antiquated era of 1998, people were still getting away with some pretty fucked up stuff. It's low, but then it's a thought bubble that says Monka S. Was that what that Cars song was about? What, Just What I Needed? Or My Best Friend's Girl? You were probably talking about My Best Friend's Girl, right? And how she used to be mine? Banana. But there's no need to grab. The grabbing is not relevant. There's some unfair brownie in motion there, but that's life. Okay, we dodge the watermelon, get hit by the apple. That's life. Somebody made it to the end already. What's it like to not be in Gen Pop with the rest of the scumbags? God damn, it was just the stem of the banana, top peeled back like the skin of a potato. Get me out of here, fuck you. Oh, dude, we were doing okay, too! My damn toes got stuck in the escalator on the way out. I'm telling you, they added so much shit to this game. Now you gotta jump at the end of freaking Fruit Chute. Oh, yeah, you didn't know your little jelly toes get stuck at the, at the escalator at the end? Oh, yeah, we added that. We call it, foot-eatus. NL, my wife left me because of you. That seems like you've got a healthy ability to look at yourself and be aware of what's going on in the world around you and how your actions and attitudes relate to that. Tell me the story. I'd love to know the story. Story? What story? I was legit laughing out loud at the animal naming banter in your recent Sab video. That's not banter. I believe what I said. Like, I mean this sincerely. I think animals are named... Some animals are named stupidly. I get why a zoologist needs to know the difference between... you know, a crocodile and an alligator. I don't see why the average human being should be expected to memorize like 4,000 different animal names. Instead, we should just name them the way that the German language keeps adding like compound words. We should just keep adding like describers on top until it's like the minimum amount of words to accurately describe the thing that we're looking at. Or, like, where do they live, and then describe their appearance. Orange, hairy forest guy. You already know, that's a damn orangutan. There's no reason I should have to know so many words. Okay, hold on, I gotta focus here. We can still make this as long as there's no saboteurs. We have no reason to hit... There's no reason to hit the buttons. It's not relevant. Hitting the buttons doesn't make any sense for us. I'm glad most of us realize that. I'll accept my second cycle. This seems not good. I'm okay. I hate it, dude! Let me out! Holy shit. Okay, and then they said, people said get on the flippers. They said, if you get on the flippers, you'll be okay. Because you go so much higher now. Okay, okay. Oh. That's a moment, slash moment. I was here. Holy cow. What a save. Nightmare course. Whew. Please, bro, just one hexagon. Just one hexagon. Please, please, just one hexagon. Unrecognized command. I know, I don't have access to moments yet. I'm okay with it. It's like, I don't need to be a part of every beta program. It's probably because I didn't do one of those Twitch surveys I was offered where the compensation was a $5 Amazon gift card. I understand. I went from a platinum tier partner to maybe I'm down in the silver tier partner. Also, I didn't reply to a couple of emails, like, while I was in the hospital right away, so they probably said, oh, this guy, he's just like other streamers, he's not replying to his emails. Well, I'm not replying to my emails, but unlike other streamers, it's not because I'm degen queuing Valorant, it's because I'm in the hospital right now. I'm sort of a different guy. I march to the beat of my own drum. Sips has had moments for months now. Well, I'm glad he irons out the kinks so that I can just have a perfect product when it's ready to go. Look at this. Dude, unfettered by the rest of the population, look at how easy this game is. You ever hear the expression, hell is other people? This is what life could be like. A better world is possible. I'm not even saying we need less people on Earth. Just bump me to the front of the line. Constantly. Okay, I'm still not taking the middle. We're doing things the slow and steady way. Why would you do? You were in a perfect position, and then you just decided to dive to try to be a shithead, and now you fell off the edge. Congratulations. I'm finding you. I will find you, and I will revel in your inability to qualify. I think it was you. I'm choosing to think it was you, because look at this. Look at this. Way to go. Congratulations. Well played. He was more blue? Whatever. It wasn't this guy, was it? NL, do you agree with what Dennis Morden said? Dennis Morden said when he said Eminem is the Mark Twain of our generation? I don't agree with a lot of what Dennis Morden says. I do enjoy his rides, though. Even though that take, I think, is insane. He does have, perhaps sadly, the best musical taste of any of the American Peloton instructors. So I'm not going to say a negative word about Dennis or his Peloton programming. Or his acting, exactly. I'm separating the art from the artist on that one. There's flip sides to that, because I like a lot of what Sam Yo says, but the man has just, I mean, this is rude to say, but I stand by it. The man and I do not share a lot of musical tastes. I do a lot of his rides anyway, just because I like the guy. But I just cannot deal with like another classic rock ride that inevitably ends in a Def Leppard song. Like I can't hear any more Def Leppard. I'm sorry. I now check the playlist in advance of the ride, and if I see that Def Leppard's on it, I'm like, this one is moving to the bottom of my personal priority queue. Again, there's enough time for everybody to make it peacefully here if we don't push each other. Thanks. Thanks for keeping me alive. Thank you for keeping me alive. I guess if you're gonna get bounced onto the slope. All right, that's fine. I should be jumping at the lower edge, but I'll just wait. That's fine. There's no need to grab. There's enough room for everybody to make it up. He's actually done it. He's actually done it. He has the capability of completing the slime scraper. I've crossed the line. What about Whitesnake? Whitesnake is certainly, I would say, is up there for one of my least favorite bands. It's partly because they only have one song, but maybe that's merciful. Pigeon? Pigeon, you still around? Hard to tell. What about The Who? Love them. Would not even I would consider it insulting that you placed The Who in a comparison with Def Leppard and Whitesnake. The Who is part of like the pantheon of classic rock. So funny. It's like, it's so funny, dude. Average Fall Guys comedian be like, thank you, physics. What about Poison? Come, what is this? You're like asking me, how do you feel about Picasso? How do you feel about Matisse? How do you feel about Monet? How do you feel about George W. Bush's paintings? Like you're piggybacking on like a deity of the genre. You're throwing in some detritus for no reason. How do you think I feel about Poison in comparison to The Who? I think that they don't compare favorably. Is that diplomatic enough for you? Every Rose Has Its Thorn it's an okay song. If you're willing to tolerate that level of 80s melodrama, then sure. This is the most skilled gamer I've ever seen. The most sane Fall Guys tiptoe player. Okay, dude, there's a hammer at the bottom. Dare we? Go, go, go! Yes! Steven plays G4L. Thank you for the gifted subscriptions. Thank you. Hex-a-gone, please. Shit take equals hot take. Who likes poison? If your mom has a tattoo on her back, just above her belt line, I bet Poison's her favorite band. Tell me I'm wrong. Good take, good take. You're wrong, it's White Snake. Okay. Alright, fair enough. Two, you know, I mean, what's the difference, right? I don't hate all 80s rock, okay? Like, I think of like what I would describe as the kind of stereotypical 80s rockers. I got nothing against, don't fall too far. I got nothing against like the music of a Guns and or Roses. I think they got some good songs. I can't believe you made it. You made it and you ruined my life. Guys, we just gotta simmer. We got some people that are in a pod above us. We're gonna have to simmer a little bit. We need them to fall for any of us to stand a chance. And there you go. We brought one of them down to our level. We don't need to run here. I guess you guys have never heard of game theory. That's fine. I've got a lot of books on the subject. I would be happy to provide for you. Okay, you know what? You just gotta focus on this one. I mean, that last fall was my fault. I can't put that on anybody else. Oh, shit. Well, that's bad. We came third in a pretty cursed one. That was fun. Dude, I'm just glad I was able to play some damn Hex-a-gone. Let me get a lose in finals on that one. I'm not mad, dude. I mean, in Hex-a-gone, you want to screw over other people. When people screw me over in the obstacle courses in order to screw themselves over as well, that's when I get annoyed. That was a fun round. Thank you, Point Crow. Thank you for the applause. Honestly, I'm getting to that age where a third place finish in Fall Guys in a normal lobby, not even like a Twitch Rivals, I think I deserve some applause for it, quite frankly. I'm getting to that stage. Plus, I almost died this week. But yeah, I think like of the 80s, because it is probably like Van Halen, Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses, Def Leppard. I don't know if you would even put Def Leppard in the same group. Bon Jovi, like that shit is my least favorite genre of music, next to like country music where they also rap. Those are both kind of in the same group for me. Boston? No, Boston has music that has merit. They don't sing songs where they pretend to be a cowboy. Chicago? Chicago has some songs that exist outside of the hair. They're not a hair metal band. They're more, I don't even know, they're like yacht rock. I can get into yacht rock. Yeah, Chicago is not hair metal. They have Saturday in the Park. People shouting, people laughing, a man selling ice cream, singing Italian songs. Et scope et tremolado. Great song, man. Server, it's all right. They're gonna work on their servers. Don't worry about it. The game's only been out for 2.5 years. Tears for Fears. I'm a big Tears for Fears guy. Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Perfect 4-minute slice of 80s pop rock. Head Over Heels. A little bit of that 80s melodrama, but sprinkled in an appropriate fashion. Talking Heads, of course. I'm a big fan of the Talking Heads. Oasis. Why you gotta do this? We're talking about great bands that everybody agrees is great. Then you gotta ask me about Oasis. How do I feel about Oasis? If I never hear Wonderwall again, it's too soon. Champagne Supernova, I wouldn't turn the station if it came on the radio. Best Oasis song though is Don't Look Back in Anger, and that's it. They have 3 total songs. One of them I never want to hear again in my entire life. One of them I wouldn't turn the radio station if it came on, and one of them I think is honestly, if Don't Look Back in Anger came on the radio and I was driving, I would turn it up. Let's go. So you like them? I like 2 of their 100 songs. That's better than some bands, for sure. I mean, it's better than, like, Motley Crue. It's Motley Crue that sings Kickstart My Heart, right? I find that song so funny. Like, it's got everything that makes me laugh in a song. It starts with a motorcycle. Just so you know they're badass. It sets the stage. And then just the lyrics are just so on the nose. The guy's screaming, when I get high on speed, all lit up like a Christmas tree. Like, it's just ridiculous. And then the interlude, the bridge where they bring it down and get a little soulful. First they repeat they falsetto repeat the name of the song. Kickstart My Heart, which is just hilarious to me. But then they do like the thing that rock bands sometimes do where they sing a song about the origin of the band. When we started this band, all we needed was a laugh. Years gone by, I'd say we kicked some ass. It's so like self-inflated. When I'm in a rage on the stage, adrenaline pumping through my veins. Like you sing songs for a living. Just like know your place. Just relax, man. Like, it's so needlessly dramatic. Help me? I should not have paused. How do you know the lyrics so well? It was in one of the rock bands. Plus, like, if you ever listen to rock radio, you'll hear it, like, every 10 seconds. Okay, that's a good sign. Guy who's dressed exactly like me waiting at the exit to grab me. We got a lot of hobby havers in the lobby right now. A lot of people who definitely can't meet up on the weekend because they got too much stuff, too many irons in the fire. I couldn't possibly. I'm swamped this weekend. Thoughts on the Eagles? I hate Hotel California. I don't really mind like the other songs of the Eagles that I'm aware of. Even though it's kind of a joke, I think Desperado's got some soul. Witchy Woman, you know, is not my favorite. It's okay. Take It Easy's a good song. I hate Hotel California. I mean, you'll hear like there's basically a recurring trend. Any song released in like the 70s or the 80s that is played 100 times a day on classic rock radio, I probably don't like very much. Don't Stop Believing, Hotel California. Like, I don't hate it because it's popular. I hate it because I've heard it so much. And I've heard it so much because it's popular, but I don't want you to get the origin of the hatred twisted. But there are some, like, super popular songs that I like. If Sweet Child of Mine came on the radio, I wouldn't turn the station. Hold on. I've got to realize that not everybody that plays this game is bantering 100% of the time, which means I need to shut the F up now and then in order to actually focus, use 100% of whatever brain power I still have remaining. Jump over the speed bump. It wasn't even scared for a second there. Possibly the hottest lap in this game's history until that. That's alright, we're gonna be fine. I mean, if this doesn't qualify, this is a scary thought. Let's just put it that way. Oh, man. Holy cow. That was close. Supertramp? I thought I didn't like Supertramp that much, and then I realized, like, almost every song that I think is a 7 out of 10, and I don't know who sings it, is by Supertramp. Dreamer. Nothing but a dreamer. Then you got your hand in the sky. Oh no. Or like, give a little bit. Give a little bit. Take the long way home. Goodbye, stranger. Breakfast in America. The Logical Song. They got a lot of good ones, man. I would give Supertramp a thumbs up. How about Simple Plan? Dude, are we doing this again? Good band, bad band? Obviously, the Simple Plan is not a good band. You can have nostalgia for it, and that's fine. I'm from I grew up in the same era, believe it or not. Just because I don't have hair on top of my head right now doesn't mean I didn't want the lead singer of Simple Plan's hair in, like, 2003. What the hell is this jump club, man? This seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Some 41. Also, like, really, really bad. I'm sorry. Like, obviously not good. I'm not saying, like, you know... Oh shit. Get me out of there. I'm not saying they don't have a few good songs, but, like, as a band... No. As a band, I would not give Some 41 a thumbs up. And they were, like, insanely popular when I was in 8th grade. So I have, like, such a huge, like bias in favor of them. I mean, if I was... the pop-punk bands from that era that deserve respect, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. Blink-182's got to be at the top of the list. I'm not that big of a Blink-182 fan, but I can at least respect that they gotta be at the pinnacle of the tower, right? Green Day's kind of from a Green Day's different. They're like alternative rock post-grunge era with like Dookie and Nimrod. I forget the one that came in the middle that had Brain Stew on it. But then they've also got like that weird protest rock era with American Idiot, but also I mostly remember that album for having songs that you could not escape from, like Wake Me Up When September Ends. I got nothing against Green Day, except for like the periods in between and after the things that I just mentioned where they made a lot of stuff that was not very good. But I mean, for a rock band to have two distinct periods of relevancy and popularity is very rare. That's kind of a special thing. I don't respect The Offspring. I think that they have some okay songs, but like all of their like they made too many novelty songs. Pretty Fly for a White Guy is a novelty song. Why Don't You Get a Job is a novelty song. Original Prankster is a novelty song. They made too many songs that were just designed to be like comedy. What do you novelty? You don't think Pretty Fly for a White Guy is a novelty song? He's getting a tattoo, yeah, he's getting ink done. He asked for a 13, but they drew a 31. Like, that's a novelty song, man. That's like a stomping Tom Connor's song. Sorry, this is too much Canadiana. We're gonna lose, by the way. He's Bud the Spud from the bright red mud, rolling down the highway smiling. He's carrying a load of those big potatoes from Prince Edward Island. Like, that's what the Offspring sound like to me. Like, why don't you get a job has got to be the most insulting. That's not even making up a guy, it's making up a lady. My friend's got a girlfriend and he hates that what? No, he doesn't. You made this lady up in your head. So our Flight of the Conchords a novelty band then? Yes. Precisely. 100%? Would anyone argue the opposite on this? I don't think so. It's like, I mean, Offspring is like Puddle of Mud, who sang the song She Frickin' Hate Me, La 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 La. If Puddle of Mud was twice as good, they would be the Offspring. Maybe 5 times as good. But I would still say that the Offspring, I don't count them as a classic, like, 90s to 2000s era band. I think they fucking phoned it in a little bit. They have some slappers. Self-Esteem is a great song. They got, you know, The Kids Are Alright, or Aren't Alright, I should say. But then they, like, diluted it with way too many songs that were, like, they just had, like, a bunch of fart noises in it or something like that. Have you seen the original Prankster music video? They make a dude eat a dookie sandwich. Like, it's just not a serious band. Boards of Canada? I would put some respect on Boards of Canada's name, yes. Absolutely. Certainly a lot better than the Offspring. In none of their songs does a dude eat a dookie sandwich. Because all their songs are like... Orange. And then there'll be like a robot voice in the background that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and then an MP3 of a child laughing. That's right. That shit speaks to me, man. I'll listen to that shit in my headphones with the music cranked up, crying my damn eyes out. Going, Monica! What about Weezer? I have the most, like, the sanest, most mid take on Weezer. It's exactly what you would expect from a Pitchfork Media reader circa 2008. Blue Album and Pinkerton fight every day in my head for favorite Weezer album. I think they both have a lot of merit. Depends how you're feeling on that given day. All the rest of them, you know, Weezer has like 3 good songs released in the 20 years post Pinkerton. I guess like now we're almost at 30. Didn't even make an effort on that one. But and it works every time. Everybody is like, you're right, except there's one Weezer album that was like an unexpected return to form. But it's always a different Weezer album for everybody. Like, some people are like, it's the Red Album. Some people are like, it's the White Album. Some people are like, it's Van Weezer. Which means you can't all be right, okay? But I do know, just because you can't all be right, some people can be more wrong than others. Like, if you think it's the album full of cover songs, including Toto's Africa, you are the most wrong. For sure. Without a doubt. In my opinion, just in my opinion, how do you feel about the Avalanches versus Imagine Dragons? That's a tough one. I don't know. Y'all have to get back to that. Band with 1 amazing album versus band with 5 shitty albums. I mean, 5 is a larger number than 1. I'd have to think about it. You seem like a New Kids on the Block guy. I was a little too young for New Kids on the Block. I know, you know, Step by Step and Hang Tough, but I wasn't, that wasn't really my era. I was deep in the NSYNC Backstreet Boys era. And I have some affinity for both of those bands, honestly. Not that I would listen to them, like, willfully, necessarily, in my free time, but Backstreet Boys' Larger Than Life is, like, an actually good song, in my opinion. And NSYNC, I Want You Back, and It's Gonna Be Me, and Bye 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 are all okay songs. Are they? Yeah, I would say so. I mean, you gotta remember, like, you can hate boy bands or girl groups, like, as much as you want, but NSYNC and Backstreet Boys on the boy band side were as good as it got. There was a lot of fucking, like, they were the top of the garbage heap. There was 5 and 98 Degrees and, like, O-Town and, like, a bunch of bands that nobody even remembers now. I want to climb. I want to climb. I would like to climb. I would simply like to climb. It's World War Z. I'm taking the ground path next time. Before 4. My ancient internet, like, badge of honor, my moment, if you will, is that I was making jokes about Get Down by Before 4 before the internet rediscovered it. Because I lived through it. You know, in high school and university, like, my friends of mine would talk about, like, hey, you remember, like, that Before 4 song that was like, if you get down on me, I'll get down on you? Then, like, 10 years later, every React channel on the internet was like, have you guys seen this? Get a load of this. I knew it too! That's the worst part! I was like, I should dive to make it. No, this is my course. For some reason, like, this one's okay with me. Although I do occasionally get stuck on the lasers, like Catherine Zeta-Jones doesn't. Okay, we're going straight on. That's huge. It's because this is Fraser's Alley, exactly. I tend to do okay at Fraser's Alley. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I'll take that any day of the damn week. That's a good point. I should tweet that I'm live, huh? Sometimes I forget about basic streamer stuff like that. I've been live for 2 hours. Dude, can I tell you something? I'm a little petty, but I think you guys are gonna +2 this. I was going for our anniversary this year. I bought tickets for my wife and I to see the traveling version of Hamilton in Vancouver. Bat chest, bat chest, bat chest. So it was going to be in, like, the first week of June. I bought the tickets in, like, January. Increasingly, we realized that we were simply not going to have the time to make the show. There was, like, no way we were going to be able to do it. We'd have to go see, like, a matinee and get a babysitter, or, like, we'd go at 9 p.m. and we'd be dead by the time the show let out. So I said, you know what, let me resell the tickets on Ticketmaster. I resold them on Ticketmaster. In order to get paid for the tickets, I need to submit, like, all of my personal information, including, like, my social security number, our version of that, so that I'm not cheating the Canada Revenue System out of, their cut of my Hamilton resale tickets. And I resold those tickets about, I would say, 6 to 8 weeks ago. I've received a lot of emails from Ticketmaster. They all say, action required. In order to get paid, you must fill out this form. And you know what, Ticketmaster? I've just decided I'm gonna... Can I just go? I'm gonna fuck up your accounts receivable department for years. I'm gonna be a trailing fucking number in your ledger that requires your accounting software to make an exception for me. Or somebody's gonna have to, like, manually input, like, hey, this money's still in accounts receivable move. And you know what? You can just call that my convenience fee. I'm sure you're familiar with the parlance. It's very convenient for me to not give you my information right now. And as a result, you can carry a little bit of accounting debt for a certain amount of time. As an accountant, fuck you. It's Ticketmaster. It's Ticketmaster. I spent a convenience fee to buy the ticket from the most inconvenient source you could buy a ticket from online. And then I had to pay another convenience fee to sell the ticket. Does this make any damn sense? So honestly, like, it's not about the money. It's about sending a message. I'll put the number in there at some point. But for now, people are right. Jumping makes a lot of sense in this. For now, they can keep sending me their damn MailChimp form or whatever they got set up. And I'm happy to stay as kind of like a thorn in there. Because I know that if you work at Ticketmaster and accounts receivable, you're probably the kind of person who loves to see column A line up with column B. Well, guess what? Keep waiting. He made the finals. Let's go. It's just, you know what? It's the little guy. The little guy is striking back just a little bit. I'm pretty sure they don't care at all. Yeah, but I think that they care, so that feels good to me. I'm basically like, people are like, they have your money? Okay, what? They don't know when I'm going to request it back. What are they going to do? Buy an I-bond? I don't think so. But secondarily, I'm collecting emotional interest on the money that I've lent them, essentially. Every day that I get an email from Ticketmaster that's like, please give me your information, I'm like, that's another 6% emotional interest that just came back into my brain. And it feels fucking fantastic. Hello, Connor Eats Pants. I have to expose you, Connor Eats Pants. You were the streamer I watched play Mario Strikers and say this game's kind of mid, which led me to not buy Mario Strikers, which then led my chat to be very upset with me, which is not your fault. I'm not going to place that on you, but that is how that went down. I was like semi-interested in Mario Strikers. I watched you play it, and you were having an okay time, but somebody in chat was like, how do you feel about this game? And you were like, it's okay. You gave your honest opinion. And I was like, you know what? I know streamer translations. It's okay is not a ringing endorsement. I'm choosing to, you know what? I'm just going to stick with Switch Sports for now. It'll be good when they add Daisy in 6 months. I mean, it's the same copium I'm taking with Switch Sports. Yeah, the game's dead now, but wait till they add golf. When they add golf in September, then it's really going to take off. All the people who were like, I'm not going to pay $60 for this shit, are going to be like, oh, one new game. Handsome Pansome, by the way, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. Did you see there was a new simulatory tennis game came out? I mean, I'm not saying it's full aces worthy, but I saw a press release for it. I can't believe it. I'm in the top half of roll-off, and I haven't even taken my Gravol this morning. I did take some Benylin and a 500 milligram tab of ciprofloxacin, in case anybody's curious what kind of nootropic stack I'm on today. I'm on a heavy antibiotic designed to kill all the bacteria in my gut, and then also a cough suppressant, which you may have noticed, not coughing so much today. Feeling kind of zuzzy with it, honestly. Like, can you guys like grab each other and die? Could you guys like say cheese and die? Could you guys like go to Camp Haunted Jelly Jam or whatever the hell this shit is called? I'm okay. Bro, I'm gonna grab him. I'm not going to grab him. He fell down. There's no need to grab. I'm nervous. I'm eliminated! No! Honestly, I didn't think my feet touched the slime yet. Started moving a little bit too fast for me, honest. Started moving a little bit too fast. Great game, though. Oh, dude, my heart is pumping. Haven't slid down in a while. Yeah, it's true. Well, did you know I almost died? So that's the main reason I didn't slide down. Because I was at risk of not being in Rush Hour 3. Any Worcesters in the chat? Dude, come on. There was a good faith effort applied there. Really milking this almost dying thing? Well, it's like the first time it's ever happened to me. I've never had another like almost died situation, but I've had to hear about like fucking hundreds of them from people, right? When I was 6, my soccer ball went out into the road and I went out to get it and then a car slammed on the brakes. Okay, well now I can match you. Okay, I almost died. I was 33. I had a simultaneous infection of Salmonella and Campylobacter. My doctor said it doesn't happen outside of the third world somehow. And yet here I am. How close were you to death? I'm not a doctor or like a mortuary. I don't know. But I do think that if antibiotics did not exist, I do think I probably would have died, but it might have taken like a month. Like, I was fighting a war with the bacteria, and there was no doubt that the bacteria was winning. Every day I woke up, and I, like there was another troubling sign. I mean, you saw the comments in the thread. People were like, this man looks like a ghost. Look at how big you are compared to a bacteria. Bro, yeah, but it's like the one horse-sized duck versus 20 duck-sized horses, right? Like, there's like literally like probably trillions of 2 different types of bacteria tag teaming me in my gut simultaneously. My body was getting his ass kicked. And then like every time the bacteria like fucking outcompetes my cells, the bacteria is like, I'm just gonna excrete like some fucking toxic shit. You couldn't grab that, huh? You couldn't just grab that? I'm just gonna like destroy this tissue here that's perfectly fine, if that's cool with you. And I guess my body was like, yeah, don't worry about it. I wasn't using that. Thanks for that, by the way, body. I thought I've been like nurturing you and, you know, decent diet, regular exercise. My body's like, oh no, bacteria. I don't know what to do. I don't feel like adulting today. Everybody betray me. Why would you push, man? Exhausted all my like white blood cells fighting the 17 different illnesses my daughter brings back from daycare every 25. What you got? Just get me out of here. I'm sorry. Look, you only got to wait for 3 people to get to the end there. I'm sorry. That's a loss. I don't want to go through 6 loading screens just to go back to the queue. That one was over. But yeah, like I'm not being facetious. Without antibiotics, I don't think I would have been dead next week. But I do think and I think that if I didn't have an appointment or if I didn't get that cancellation appointment on Tuesday, what probably would have happened is that on like fucking Friday, I would have been like, I need to go to the hospital immediately yet again. And then they probably would have given me antibiotics on that visit or on the next visit, or like at some point they would have been like, this motherfucker's gonna die in my hospital, and they would have hooked me up, right? But if antibiotics did not exist, I do think that this shit would have killed me. The cavalry was not coming in. Like there was a time where it was like bad, and then it got a little bit better, and that lasted for like 4 days, and then it got a lot worse. So I think my immune system fired all the missiles. And then it was like, that should take care of it. And then it didn't take care of it. And my body was like, okay, start repackaging some of these elements so that they can be used by the soil. It is pretty fucked up that one day antibiotics won't work. I mean, I was getting a little mad when I was reading about Campylobacter. Like, did you know that Campylobacter 10 years ago was easily treatable with antibiotics? Now it has a lot of antibiotic resistance because we're not vaccinating, but we're medicating chickens in the poultry industry so they don't get sick. Bro, fuck them chickens. Let them get diarrhea, man. I need the antibiotics to be here in case I get this shit ever again. Are you crazy? You're creating like super pandemic god tier bacteria because the poultry industry margins are too thin? Have you lost your mind? Plus, I probably got that shit from a chicken anyway. So that shit does not work. Save the antibiotics for the people, man. I don't think a chicken invented penicillin. When a chicken invents medicine, they can take the medicine instead of me, okay? If the medicine worked for both of us, that would be fine as well, okay? But the thing with the antibiotics is like a zero-sum game. As soon as you give the antibiotics to like one colony of bacteria, like one of those motherfuckers is going to survive and come back to the horde and then tell the rest of them the secrets to live, right? So you got to save those for the taxpayer.